This episode of Ange TV is brought to you by Tim Hortons, located at 3760 Boul des Sources in Dollard-Des-Ormeaux and 305 Rue Brunswick in Pointe-Claire, Quebec, Canada. Tim Hortons, always fresh, toujours frais.
What is up, guys? We are live! Welcome back to the Ange TV show, guys. It's nice to see you all. If you're new here, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share out this video, guys, because we have a very, very hot topic to talk about tonight, guys, and I have some panelists to help me out with that. Now, guys, you know how many times I heard the saying, I want to be famous. I would do anything to be famous. I'm sure you guys have heard that a lot from your friends as well. Well, tonight, guys, I want to talk about everything that could go wrong with being famous. That's right, guys. We are talking about the dark side of Hollywood as well as Disney, guys, and all that good stuff. So a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We have a big menu to talk about. Let's bring on our panelists for tonight. We have comedian Mr. Claudio Capri in the building. What's up, Claudio? How are you?
Hey, hello. How's it going? Good to be here.
Not bad. It's interesting Claudio's coming on because he's going to have a lot to say about this. He does know about Hollywood and movies a lot, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah. We have music pioneer, Mr. Charles Rox Vaccarro.
Yeah.
How are you, Charles?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. Thanks for having me tonight.
No problem. And finally, we have from Florida, guys, United States. He's worked for Disneyland, Mr. Jason Canio. How are you, buddy?
How you doing? Not Disneyland, Universal. Used to work for
Universal. That's right. He works for Universal. We have Lady Via in the building. What's up? How you doing, Raven? She knows a lot about Disney, so we're gonna talk about that. Marlena Cardoza's in the building. Jay Wild, what's up? And Charles is saying hello too, guys. We have a lot to talk about today, but I think we should start with how do you make it big? Okay. Big in Hollywood? How do you make it in rap? How do you make it selling NFTs? Whatever it is that you're doing, what's the reality of how do you make it? Like, is there like a hierarchy? Is there like a clique? How many people make it versus how many people just never are heard of, even though they spend all kinds of money on promotion and all that good stuff? I'm sure you guys have a lot to comment on that. So, Charles, if you want to start the conversation, kick it off. Why is it so hard to make it big this day in the music industry?
Well, this day, it's been that always. Every era has, you go back to the 50s and 60s, you have the Elvis and the Buddy Hollies, and the 70s, you had the rock movement, and there was that the British invasion, which if you go into the history books, you get all these people are actually related to each other somehow from the neighborhoods, right? Yeah. In the British invasion. So I won't get into that because that's a whole session by itself. The thing is that being an artist, whether you're a comedian, actress, singer, dancer, or even an athlete, right? Today, being an athlete is also kind of becoming a celebrity somewhat if you're in the right team and whatever. Yeah. You have to dedicate your sweat and blood to becoming this person, to becoming this person that you want to create. Now, in the process that you're doing this, not everybody gets to create Lady Gaga or Dua Lipa or Christina Aguilera. So and again, this is fresh news. The past year or so, since COVID, there's 60,000 songs a day being uploaded into Spotify. Really? Yeah. So what's gonna separate somebody from somebody else? It's the work, being part of the right clique, if you want to call it. Much. But the environment, and before you said what does it take to make it in Hollywood? That's an isolated area. What does it take to make it? Why did, let's say, Celine Dion make it from here to become an international superstar? Is because she was way above the bar as a singer. And then, her management developed her into this persona where they coached her to learn English, and she became a celebrity. And she had,
well, you know what, Charles? I'll give it to you. Celine Dion was a talented person, all right?
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing now, and we're going to talk about it, guys, reality TV, okay? People that go on, they think they're all of a sudden, they're big shit, whatever. Like, it's just crazy, dude. It's crazy that people are get famous from like a meme. Like they all get famous for the wrong reasons. Remember, you know the Island Boys? I'm an island boy, and then all of a sudden they're freaking, all over TikTok and everything. It's just like, why are those people making it, but not that person in your neighborhood or whatever that sings like 10 times better than them? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, but what does making it mean?
Yeah,
What
making it being mainstream, you know?
Well, mainstream, you can have that Island Boys one bang, you're out, okay?
Yeah.
And I made it, and I'm out, right? And then there's longevity, right? Like not every artist I know doesn't want to be that one song and out. They want to become the next Ariana Grande, or they want to become the next Justin Bieber, or the next Foo Fighters, like whatever category you're performing at. So what's gonna take you there is, again, there's work. It's a lot of work. It's meeting the right people. You can't stay in your little basement creating music thinking that the internet's gonna save you. That's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. And I asked you to watch the Defiant ones, and I don't know if you started or finished.
I watched a bit of it.
And whoever's listening right now, you should watch that, because you'll put together how the magic works, and how Jason could add into that later, or he could cut me out too. How you become somebody established in Disney. Right? Yeah. And in Disney, on the music front, right? What are we at? We had the Mickey Mouse Club, right? So we had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, right? And then there's Ariana Grande from Nickelodeon, but you have Selena Gomez, Zendaya, right? Who became an actress, who they launched their music career a few years ago. Yeah. And I think she opted to go more into becoming an actress, right? There's Miley Cyrus, who became a big entity and a big moneymaker.
Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff. Yeah. And
guys, that's what I want to talk about next. Disney kids. Okay. And by the way, Raocat is here. He's talking about Disney. What did he say? He said, what about Air in Disneyland? Not sure what he means by that. But you know what? Hang on a second. Jason, you work at Disneyland, Universal, I believe, right?
I used to work at Universal, but not on the side of the media part of it. No.
But working at Universal, what have you noticed about Disney? You have a lot. You actually told me you wanted to come on the show and talk a bit about Disney.
What is the specific bill that is relating to the Florida, that the governor of Florida has
the status being removed from Disney, right?
Exactly. Not so much. Okay. Yeah, that's
okay. No problem. You know what? We'll get right into it. So let me know about Disney losing their special status. What does that mean, Jason?
It really means that they, over the past 55 years, were always exempt from paying taxes. They had their own little area of Reedy Creek, basically. And what that means is that they had their own fire station. They had their own medical area. It was like a small town inside of a big theme park. Yeah. And they were exempt from paying taxes to the county. Now, because they stuck their nose where they don't belong and telling parents how to raise their kids, that they should be learning gender identification and all this stuff, the governor is now stripping their privileges. Okay. And, and here's the thing. If they just would have stuck to being an entertainment corporation, which means entertaining the families of not just the ones who live here in Florida, because I was an annual pass holder for 7 years, loved it. Don't do it no more because I'm just tired of the theme parks. I've seen what I wanted to see, and I'm not giving my money more to Disney. But I tell you, the parents who are coming from all over the world, literally, to come to Florida, the tourism boost that the state gets is great. But now Disney is really hurting themselves, because if they screw this up, they're only hurting themselves, because everything, people are not gonna come to their parks. Yeah. They're gonna go to Universal, because Universal is not exempt from paying these taxes to the county of Orange County. Yeah. So
Lady Via said, and I'm working at Disney at the moment at the park, not the animation. So she's like, she loves Disney. She works there. And she said, what did she say over here? Ryocat said, I hate about Disneyland. So expensive, the food and the toys. It's true. It is expensive at Disney.
You're paying for licensed merchandise that basically you're paying for the name. You could go to the Disney store in the mall that used to be there, and they probably were cheaper than buying on Disney property.
Yeah.
When you go on Disney property, you're paying basically right then and there. You're paying for all of the all of the name of that product, not so much the product.
And she said, and I work there, and so I get free tickets. Okay, interesting. Tommy's in the building. He says, "What's up, Uncle Charlie?"
I'm fine, Tommy.
Something you were talking about though, Jason. We might as well wrap up the Disney stuff. Sex education in Disney. So what's going on? They're teaching kids about like.
Well, what the bill basically entails that Governor DeSantis has signed about 4 days ago is that it gives parents the right to choose which schools to send their kids to that don't teach this gender identification. Okay, when you're in kindergarten to third grade, what are you supposed to be learning? Reading, writing, arithmetic, the colors, sounds. Not so much whether you have you're a male or a female, you have a beep 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 or a beep 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 beep. So, and then Disney says, well, we want all this to be for gender identification, and so they're sticking their nose in business that's not even their business. Who are they to tell the parents of the state of Florida how to raise their children? I don't have kids.
Jay Wild is actually a big fan of Ron DeSantis. He said, Ron DeSantis 2024.
I tell you, there's a lot of people that don't like the governor of our state of Florida, but I'll tell you what, he has kept this state open during COVID. He has not shut down, and he don't care what that scumbag in White House really is doing.
Jason, I have a question for you.
Example,
Seriously, I have a question for you. You live in Florida. Yep. Somebody I know just came back from Florida, and they were telling me like nobody wears masks there.
Exactly.
What's your thought on that?
My thing is we're moving forward. We're getting out of this scare tactic to wear it. Look, if you want to wear a mask because you have to, because of specific buildings like doctors' offices and dentist office, and they tell you have to wear, fine. But once you're in your own car, take the mask off. I want to see some people's faces. Yeah. Come on. You're in your own car. Who's the one spreading your own germs? You.
Car.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just curious to know about that. We're not going to go on a debate that because that's not what tonight's about. Lady Via said Disney is homophobic. That's interesting. I believe Lady Via did transition, so that's an interesting comment. Jason said, Jay Wild said Jason is very based. I think he's maybe said biased.
My bias? Hey, you can think whatever you want. I'm just telling you what's going on down here in the state of Florida, and I thought coming on the program today to tell you that this is an important topic, and every state should get involved that has a governor of this magnitude that's willing to take care of its residents.
Yeah. Something else I want to talk about, Charles. Guys, hang on a second. Something else I want to talk about Disney that I kind of find it disturbing. Okay, and I don't know. It could be a coincidence. You guys can answer, Claudio, Charles, whoever wants to answer this. Is it true that there's subliminal messages in Disney movies? Because I saw a lot of examples of it. It's not just one. I saw sex in the sky for I think it was The Lion King. I saw a penis in Fantasia. Claudio, you want to answer this?
Yeah, you know what? Two things. First of all, I just want to agree with what Jason's saying about what's going on, and the second of all, see, in a way, Disney, as before they took over, and they ruined comic book stuff. I used to love Disney. I was a fan of Disney, but now they're just ruining everything.
Pretty much.
To see to go as far as to see sex symbols, I'm not really too sure of that. But I do know that they are pushing a certain agenda, and they're shoving it down. I find they're shoving it down our throats. Yeah. I find it's just the lack, because here's the thing, because Disney wants to make everything equal. They want to make, which you know what, I'm okay with it. You know, for example, the Legend of Shang-Chi. You know,
Yeah.
I found it was a garbage movie, but other people like it. That's not the point. But
I
the
liked
point,
it. I like the Shang-Chi.
I'm like, oh, okay, because it was shoving, like, again, I'm all for Marvel, you know, doing different ethnicities. I'm like, all right, cool, 100%. By the way, Disney, Marvel, if you want to do an Italian superhero, I'm your guy. But but here's the thing. It's just, I just don't like the fact that they're shoving this in our face, and to see the sex symbols in there, it's implied, you know, and I'm not saying implied as in, like, you know, they're they're talking about, no, it's right in front, like the Lion King, you know, but they're doing
Why
it.
would a child cartoon network, or whatever you want to call it, Disney Channel, why would they be promoting that to kids?
Because you know what, I'm sure there's some parents who can't explain what the birds and the bees are. So, like, let me show you a Disney movie, and it's implied. You know, it's implied right in front of you. And someone here has said that Disney is homophobic.
Yeah.
From what from the films that I've been seeing, I'm not talking about the new garbage. I'm talking about the classic garbage.
Yeah.
They are, it's like, for example, a friend of mine brought this up, like, you know, the movie The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. It's about obviously it's a story about a female mermaid, going around and doing mermaid stuff. My friend's like, he's been told that that's actually, like, she's like a stripper in a way,
Really?
Yeah, she's going around and she's, the way she moves and all that jazz.
It's possible.
Yeah, and then he goes, it's like a female selling her body to you as a
Wow. I never
mermaid.
thought of it that way, Claudio.
Me neither, until my friend told me this. I thought it was on crack. But
Jay Wild said Disney is a big fan of promiscuity. They love promoting amorous activity in their movies. I believe it, dude.
Yeah, they do. And again,
he says, not gonna lie, Ariel from Little Mermaid is hot.
Yeah, exactly.
These princesses are all hotties.
And then I just want to add on this before we move on. And then you have the film The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Basically it's because all these Disney films, I'm talking about cartoon here. Cartoon films are representing films like, this is a hot stud or a hot studis, look how hot they are. But then you have The Hunchback of Notre Dame, like, oh fuck, it's an Ange. It's like if The Hunchback of Notre Dame was made to real life, you and I would be playing the gargoyles. But that's how it is. That's and The Hunchback is basically saying, oh, look how ugly people are treated. Ugly people have to be antisocial, this and that. Meanwhile, there's a hot girl saying, it's like films like The Hunchback of Notre Dame in a Disney World. This is what it is, okay? In Disneyland, let's take elementary school, okay, guys? And guys, stop me if you think I'm wrong, so Disneyland is a school. You go to a playground, right? How is the playground? People get along together, right? That's how the cliques are, right? You got the cool cliques and the not so cool cliques. Then you have The Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? It's an ugly guy. No one wants to play with the hunchback. He's ugly. That's what I find the messages going, right? But at the end, everyone's like, oh, well, he's one of us, he's just a human too. That's what they're saying. He's just a human too.
Okay, so you're saying these Disney movies, they're basically to teach kids about being nice and accepting people?
Exactly. For example, there was a film, an animation, Soul, that Jamie Foxx and Soul was a good movie,
Yeah.
But there was just one thing that I was seeing between the lines, like, no matter who you are, you could become a musician. But I'm like, no, what? All right, okay. If you guys wanna, but they literally said, like literally, if there was transfer, if they were reword, the thing goes, no matter what color you are, you can be a musician.
Yeah. We got some people coming in. Melanie is in the building. Hello. Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah,
happy belated birthday, Melanie. And also Beauty by Soraya is in the building. What's up, Beauty by Soraya? I believe from South Africa. That's interesting. Lady Via said, "I love Hunchback movie for the music." It's true. I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what
And
I'm
it
saying.
teaches
It's
to accept people even if they are different. So yeah,
There
exactly.
are
that's
some
the message.
morals to the stories here, but
Yeah,
if it's all fairy tales, and we're here to be entertained by the Disney Corporation.
yeah,
And that's the whole thing why families have gone all these years. But
Yes.
now you take that and you take away all of that, and they want to start getting into parents.
yeah. That's
And
where
no. That's where the parents
Yeah.
draw the line, and they're not going to
That's
tolerate that.
yeah.
Well, the thing, Jason, is which is going to fall into some other topics I think that we're discussing later.
Yeah.
Is that everybody in this day and age is exercising their freedom to speak.
Oh yeah,
Pretty much.
So-
Yeah.
for sure.
So and where do you draw the line? One, and who is Disney to impose that? And then who are the people to put restrictions on what Disney people
Yeah.
want to have the freedom to engage with their audience on what
Yeah.
their audience wants to hear.
Right.
So that's and it's not right, and I totally agree with you, because I have kids too. I have a kid, and I don't want anybody to teach my kid. He's older now, but let's say I had a younger kid in third grade, that they could already start questioning
For sexuality.
Yeah,
a-
or for that matter,
anything besides counting crayons.
Exactly.
Like-
exactly.
Like you're going to school, you're learning
Yeah.
school stuff, and that'll
Yeah.
come later.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to add on to what you were saying. I remember when I was in kindergarten, grade 1 to 3. I was learning how, as Jason was mentioning, math, arithmetic, English, foreign language. Now, I have a friend. He has a kid, and then I've never seen my friend upset because I had to go with him. It was a teacher parent night, and I had nothing better to do. And so I'm like, let me go see. I swear to God, the teacher was this fragile person. If you just blow the wind and it's in his general direction. First of all, teacher didn't want to be called he or she, one of those. Anyways, I'm not gonna get to it. But then he goes, I think your kids today have to learn sex and they have to be okay with choosing if they want to be a male or a female. And then of course my friend had this whole debate with him, and I was just there for the free popcorn. But point of the matter is that I think today, even today, like someone was saying, well, at a young age, 3 years old, and I'm like, listen to me, at 3 years old, I remember at 3 years old, I was trying to shove crayons up my, up my nose, and trying to, learn Pokemon names. Now I gotta, I gotta learn, kids can't even wipe their own butts.
We have an interesting comment from Lady Via. She says, as someone who's going through depression and has importance to take care of Disney is an escape and a happiness for me. I believe Disney wants to make people happy, not to make the parents mad.
Yes,
that's actually. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Jason, you were telling me that apparently Disney kind of gets in the minds of the parents, right?
It's all because they want to be the left wing. They want to team up with the Biden administration, the liberals, and they want to go on that route. Why? I have no idea. And Florida is a red state. It will always be a red state. Our governors are great people. And Florida residents have a way of living their lives. They want freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, and so if you're going to take that away or try to manipulate or sabotage it, you're going to get the fight of your life. And I tell you what, those parents are going to stand up for the kids, whether they're heterosexual or not, teach them the right way in the home. And, but why I don't even understand why Disney's even doing this.
Yeah.
There should be listen to me and again, all of you may disagree. Disney should focus on entertaining. That's all it should do. Disney should be left. For example, it's like saying, like all of you have kids, right? Like I'm an entertainer. I'm gonna entertain you and the kids. At the moment I come up to you and your kid and say, well, I think your kid should learn how to, you're all going to tell me to go, jump out the window, cut myself at my wrist at the same time. There is a limit, and go and no, and even Disney, and then Disney also, you talk about subliminal messages, they're doing this in Marvel, doing this in the Star Wars. They're just shoving it down our throats. Like, oh yeah, I know these,
Okay.
I just want to read a comment, guys. We have a couple comments. Tommy said, tomorrow I'm going to go to Rona and I'll identify myself as a senior citizen so I can get a discount. So his point, Tommy, is that, if you could identify as a woman, you could identify as a man, you could identify as non-binary. And at the end of the day, people kind of are going to take advantage of this. So where do we draw the line? That's what he's trying to say, Tommy. Also, guys, Lady Via said, I'm currently a they, them, non-binary, which they have had characters who are non-binary in the Disney Channel show, and Disney is not political at all. That's interesting. That's interesting to note. Because Lady Via is a big Disney follower. She works for Disney. Yeah. So that's
I don't think it's the cast members personally that are doing this political schema thing. It is the higher ups of Disney that are taking this message out of proportion, and that is why Governor DeSantis is doing what he's doing. I don't think Disney cast members are going to agree with everything that Disney is doing. There are people who are going to say, we don't
want a paycheck. That's all they want. Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, Disney wants to make money, guys. Disney
Disney is an entertainment mecca, right? Yeah. From day one. Now, as we have evolved into today, right? There's a lot of things that have become accepted by society, LGBTQ and everything that comes with it, right? And there's been requests by those communities to, hey, why doesn't the Spider-Man have a gay accomplice, or why is there not a black Spider-Man or a black Superman, and it's fine. So now, besides the political stuff that Jason brought to the table, right? These guys have to adapt to new markets, to new audiences, right?
Yeah.
Leaving the kids out of it, right? So they want the gay community to engage into something they could relate to, because we're not the same people as 40 years ago, right?
No.
We're a new generation of people. So it's iffy, but yes, when the administration tries to come into your household, that's different.
That's a big no.
From an educational perspective, right? But Claudio, from an entertainment perspective, they're just adapting to other things. On the thing of subliminal messages, anything and everything in entertainment, whether it's advertising for perfume or whatever, there's gonna be that somewhere.
I want to just read Jay Wald's comment. He wants me to read it out loud. He said, Jason, we got to meet up and have a cup of liberal tears together.
No idea what that means.
No, Jay Wald, he agrees with Jay Wald. I mean, Jason, he agrees with you. He really likes what you're saying. That's what he's saying.
I mean, all I'm here to do is to spew the facts of what's going on. I'm a conservative person myself. And if that was a Disney Corporation trying to tell me how to, if I had kids and it was the same, I'd say back off. Back off. How do you know what my kid would needs in school? How are you all of a sudden become an expert in this when you're only an entertainment company? Yeah. Unless you're having Disney University courses on your campuses and have a high school on your campus or K through 12, and you're teaching my kid, then maybe we will talk. But
the thing about Disney that Lady Via is saying too is that, guys, Disney is huge, man. Do you know that the Disney Network, on Netflix, the Disney Channel, I think it's called Disney Network, right, on Netflix? Not on Netflix. The streaming is
Disney Plus. Disney Plus.
Netflix lost a lot of money off of that.
Exactly. Disney Plus is gonna, and these are my words, kill Netflix, guys. Netflix is gonna be obsolete pretty soon.
Yeah.
Disney makes a lot of money.
They already lost a lot of money. Netflix now are losing viewers, and they're losing a lot of money.
Well, people are basically watching for free, but that's besides the fact. Disney has a lot more shows, a lot more content. They acquired what? Didn't they acquire Marvel?
Disney, yeah, they acquired Marvel.
They acquired
Marvel from Universal but Universal was still allowed to have those characters, but they have to pay a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah, same thing with Sony. I just want to touch a little bit on what we were saying at the beginning because I found we moved a little fast, just saying how to make it in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Besides and I'm saying this as a stand-up point of view, Charles, we're talking a little bit, at the beginning. It's like, even for a stand-up comic, you have to go to bars and perform these little shows, and that's why I find for me, like almost every night, like I'm out performing at these bars, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and again, it's all within the end. It's all sadly with people, like for me, someone like who I'm working a lot. I have 2 shows, in my pockets. I'm doing my podcast, but I'm not off. This is gonna be my second time in my few years I'm doing stand up. That I'm doing a big show May 13th. Everyone else that I know, that we know, they're doing these big galas, they're doing these big shows, and let's admit they're not funny, But again, it's all about who and this This is the Disney thing, right? The Disney thing. Well, I'm sure they look, at different ways, which we're going to get into. But again, you go for auditions. But if you're buddies with the casting director or buddies with the producer or the director, the director or producer is going to say, hey, Jason and Charles, Ange, they're good friends with me. Pass them through the audition, but that's how it is everywhere, unfortunately, and then that's how they're catered, and that's how they have the dream job. Hey, you're Disney, but here's the contract. Here's what you cannot say and can say.
Well, Claudio, something that we're gonna shift now to the Hollywood part, guys, for the next half hour. But something I want to say, guys. Okay, let's say you go on set for a movie, okay, and the producer really likes you, even if you were like a background actor or you had a very small role. Once they know you, if they have another movie, if the producer has another movie, he's gonna choose you, right? He might even give you a talking role.
No, right? that's not how.
Not necessarily.
Exactly. From my experience, and again, I've only did films here in Montreal and I'm not going to say the titles. So let's say you're doing you have a big budget film and you see Jason and Charles, right? You're going to say, oh, you know what? I like Jason and Charles, what they're doing as extras. I know I want to keep that because I thought about this and other people thought about this. Like, oh, have him. No, they're just going to have you for that moment. And when that scene is done, adios, here's a paycheck. Well,
it depends, Claudio. Everybody has different experiences on set, but the odds are the more you go on set, the more a producer's gonna get to know you, and then he might use you for another movie and maybe even a big role. And that little chance when you get that talking role that you said 2 words, you never know where that could get you, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
My point is, you got to get your feet wet, guys.
Yeah.
You got to go out on events. You got to talk to people. You got to network. A lot of people don't understand the networking thing.
No, because I have some people in the comedy business. They're like, oh, I'm just gonna do my open mic, and then like for example, like I'm doing more shows than a certain person. Like, I want to get on. Did you email the comedy place? Did you do you go to shows? Do you ask?
You have to be proactive, man.
Do you bust balls? No, because some people think, because I do comedy, they're gonna ask me. No one's gonna ask you. Nobody is going to ask you. They're going to ask you if you have your show and they could come on yours. Yes. But nobody is going to be like, once in a while, I got requests for being on a show. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. But you have to network. You have to, as I mentioned, it's like, how do you say? It's like you have to go out there almost every night. You have to talk to people. When you're at shows, you can, not only do you socialize, but you communicate. You say, hey, I have a show. I'm putting on a show this day. Oh, cool. All right. Interesting. And if they don't put you on, well, that's another story. But I'm saying you have to do the work. You know
what's interesting though, guys? We live in a society where everybody tries to do something that was successful. Okay. For example, now I'm talking about NFTs here, guys. I don't know if you've heard of Bored Ape, but once Bored Ape got big, now everybody and their mother is making the same type of NFT with a monkey, but maybe wearing a hat or wearing a bow tie. What I'm trying to say is that there's so many people that are trying to be music artists, so many people trying to make it on YouTube. There's so many people that do nails, whatever it is you do. Try and do something unique that sticks out from the rest. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand.
But that's what separates the elite from everybody else, because not everybody's going to discover that they could either be that person, or if they have the capacity to be that person, right? And in the meantime, you're gonna entertain yourself like we all do and write music, and I'm gonna put on Spotify, and the whole world's gonna love it. And then you put it on Facebook, right? You get 800 likes, 32 views, which doesn't add up, right? So it's a long journey, and the whole world does not have the capacity to accommodate or receive all these artists. That's why the elite are extraterrestrial, you know.
And then something I want to talk about though is that there's a fake sense of the achievement. Like a lot of people, they get nervous and then they pay for promotion, or they pay to get more clicks or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're the same. You have the same content. You know, you're the same person. And then I think I don't know, that makes you so artificial. You know, Jay Wild said Disney is overly political. It may not be as transparent in their content, but the company themselves has expressed their support for more progressive deals. I agree with that. He said nepotism is huge in the entertainment industry. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, we'll agree with that. I will.
And Lady Via is saying Disney ain't political. If you view it as that, I have to say you a bit blind. Well, it's possible if they make money. Jay Walt said, I think Ange underestimates my level of conservatism. And he said NFTs can suck my beep. Lady Via said, I'm trying to become an animator or a singer. Look, at the end of the day, guys, okay, the important thing is that you're trying to do something. You're trying to make it. You're doing something about it. That's the important thing. You know, you're not going to tell, Charles, are you going to tell somebody that you think is maybe like, you know, probably not going to make it, but are you going to tell them you should just stop because the odds are you're not going to make them? Would you tell somebody that?
It depends the relationship I have with the person.
Yeah.
And I would probably say something like that. You know, I was consulting an artist about 2 years ago, right when COVID started, and you know, she was in her early 20s, good looking. She sang great. She had a good tune on YouTube, and of course the other platforms. And she came here with her mom, and they were just, you know, asking the right questions, but they didn't like the answers.
Yeah.
Right. Because, you know, the girl's like, I'm working on my brand. Okay, what's your brand? You know, who is this person you're trying to sell to me? And then, you know, who am I? But I'm the audience, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm the audience. So what's your brand? How many followers? 4,000. Well, that's not enough to have a brand. And what's a brand to you? Well, you know, me posting and people interacting and and that's my brand. And I said, no, a brand is a household name. That's a brand. Whether it's Mr. Clean, whether it's McDonald's, whether now it's Uber or these dishes or whatever, the scrubbing pad in your dishwashing set, it's a brand name. There you go. Right, like it's not a tissue. It's not a tissue. It's Kleenex, right?
Yeah.
So what's your brand?
Right.
So a brand in the entertainment business is, again, Ariana Grande. It's Morgan Freeman. It's you know, that's a brand.
Yeah.
So the brand. The question was, this year from January to December, how much money did your brand make you? And the answer was 0, and it's probably negative because she spent money
Exactly
to record her music, take photos, right?
Yeah.
And so she said 0, right? So you don't have a brand. So you're at everybody's level. You're on a level playing field. And to work up to the next step, you have to do exactly what Claudio was saying. You got to be out there. You got to call. You got to follow up. You got to be a ball buster. You got to, you know, everybody thinks because we have email that it's easier. Yeah, it's easier for me to send you a message, but it's just as hard as getting an answer from you as when I used to send it to you with an envelope and a stamp, right?
Yeah.
What Jay Wild is saying, guys, by the way, he is a recording. He's a recording artist. He's not big time, but he does it because he likes to do it. He's a student and everything. So anyway, he said, "Oh, Ange, by the way, after this next album, I'm done with music." Okay, and that's sad to hear, but listen to what he has to say. He said, I've covered all grounds of my life in the past 6 years. I just want to wrap it all up and drop one last album I'll be proud of. You know, so he had fun with what he did. You know, and I've seen his videos. He has music videos that did very well. But he knows, like, you know, I did what I had to do. I had some fun with it. And now I just want to give myself the proper send-off. And that's completely acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see,
that's called being realistic. Jay Wild, that's what I am. I'm realistic. Yeah. Right? I know if I make an NFT tomorrow, I won't be able to sell 10,000 of them at $100 each, right? I'm just saying, whatever the price is. Like, look, just to get just an example, okay? Just to get a $10 super chat, that's a big thing. A $10 from a supporter is a big thing already. So imagine trying to sell 10,000 of something at $100. Think about it for a second.
Yeah,
it's not easy, right?
No,
it's exactly
not
what Charles is trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, at one time YouTube was the platform that everybody could make money off of, but then you got people out there just screwing around, making more trouble, and then of course YouTube's now got to tighten up their security and make it harder for creators to go out there and make content that's, you know, without being worried about being flagged and all this other stuff. Ange, you got a great following of people, and I'm just proud to be able to post my work on your Facebook group pages to get the people out there to promote my podcasting and stuff. So I'm very happy.
Guys, I want to move to the scandals. So the first thing I want to talk about, guys.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. What do you mean you weren't there? Listen, guys, I saw a documentary on Netflix about Britney Spears' dad. Okay. It's freaking sad. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's literally like your son is or your daughter's an NFT. Like she's an asset. It's really sad. Like you look at your kid like a commodity. Yeah. Like your kid is a money making machine, and you know that, and you take full advantage of that. Who wants to start here? Who wants to talk about the Britney Spears BS? Charles, you want to go ahead?
So the Britney Spears BS. One, besides her. We could go back, and I'm sure there's many that we don't know of, but the other classic one was Macaulay Culkin, right? Where, you know, back in the day when he was a little boy, he was the star of the franchise Home Alone, and this kid later on in his teenage life, I believe, or as an adult, a young adult, he ends up divorcing his parents, because they were just using him as a cash cow for them to indulge in whatever they were doing, you know, with his money, right? Yeah. And now Britney Spears, I saw the documentary, and you could clearly see, like, because there's different perspectives of people that were actually her friend, as opposed to people that were actually milking what she was doing with her money, right? And her being personally involved in decision making, which didn't happen because her dad took over. So they made her work, but at the same time, they were telling the media that she wasn't mentally fit to do so as a young mother, as a performer, as a person to make logical and personal decisions for herself, whether they were right or wrong. This was her own little empire, or her own empire, never mind little, that she created. And so you see that the psychological torture that she endured, as did Macaulay Culkin. And if you know, Ange and I, we discussed this off air, you can also take Michael Jackson into that conversation, where, you know, a lot of people remember Michael Jackson as the last part where, you know, he started transforming his face with plastic surgery and looking skeletal and weird. But, you know, he was a child star. He was a young boy, and the whole family, his brothers, the Jackson 5 and the LaToya and Janet, they were like psychologically abused,
of course,
by
Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson. So what do you have in the end? You have a tragedy. You have kids that are not growing up normal because they missed out their whole childhood and they were kind of enslaved to their entertainment life.
Absolutely.
Having said that, right? Going to the Disney thing, okay?
Yeah.
So now Disney, people say, well, Disney enslaves kids, and Disney doesn't. Disney gives you a job, right? Who are the people that enlist you to this job? It's your parents, right? Now, if you're Miley Cyrus, maybe it's a wrong example because she has entertainment parents, but we'll use Miley Cyrus as an example.
Okay.
Miley Cyrus is somebody's daughter. They signed her up to Disney, right? Once they give her the contract, this kid has a union. She gets to do schooling inside of the studios. And the rest, it's the parents that are going to manage her career. And if the parents are crazy stupid and they're going to steal the kid's money and make her work, well, then this kid's going to come out not being a very happy person in her adult life.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, something I want to say, Charles, is that think about it. Look, at the end of the day, kids, okay, child stars, young people on the internet, okay, and there's a lot of them. For example, there's somebody that watches a channel called it's two little kids, Zara and Zayn. One of them, I believe it's Zara, created a channel. She's maybe 8 years old, and I was like amazed by what she put out there. She put one YouTube video, and it was just like she was talking really clearly. She was vlogging. It was like it was like a A+ video. It was amazing, and I think people see that. They see that this person is talented. That the internet would probably like this person, right, Charles? So imagine if you're the father of that person. You have full control of that person. You shouldn't have, but you do, right?
No, but no, wait. If my child is 8 years old, I should have full control of my child always, but not to benefit me, right? Yeah. If my child was a child star at 8 years old and he made $10 million and I'm out doing cocaine and strippers and Ferraris with my son's money, then I'm not really an outstanding dad. But if I take my kid and he's making $10 million because he connected on TikTok, right? And I become somewhat his personal manager and I put his money in the bank for his college fund and hey, tonight we have homework, right? Like you're still 8 years old, right? So I don't get him on another gig where I'm surrounding him with people and it's midnight and there's parties and there's right. So the parents, that's what I'm saying. The parents should have full control of their children, but not from
a business perspective. Yeah.
From the way Jamie Spears treated his daughter or Joe Jackson treated his daughter, or I forgot, because I'm linked to Whitney Houston family, right? We were in their offices many times. Later on, we weren't in that circle of people anymore. Later on in Whitney Houston's life, when she married Bobby Brown, her dad, who was running her business, sues her for $100 million.
Yeah.
Which father sues their kid for $100 million? I don't understand that, right? But it happens. So were you looking and you're almost dead? You're 100 years old. You're suing your kid for $100 million. Like who does that? So there's that. So, but what I'm trying to say is people blame the entertainment industry for this person being psychologically messed up. But in there, nobody protected them. Like Justin Bieber, right? I mean, the kid, he was a YouTube sensation, gets discovered by Scooter Braun. He takes him to the moon and back 10 times. And then he turns into this crazy, whirlwind, crazy person in his early adult life. And nobody was intervening, but then they did. So, he's found himself again because it's a lifestyle, right? So when you're 18 years old and you own 4 Lamborghinis and you're, the whole world wants a piece of you, like you're not going to handle that properly. And if the people next to you, your whole entourage, whether it's your mom, whether it's your personal manager, is not, if you're at a club doing cocaine and shooting and whatever, and then your friend comes and says, hey, dude, let's do some more, right? well, nobody's looking out for you at this point because you just right. But if there's somebody to say, hey, tonight we're going home, tomorrow you got a gig, there's 40,000 people, you can't be late, you're on at 8, can't be on at 8:30, like no party, but most of the time your entourage doesn't do that for you. They just
So the next topic I want to talk about, guys, there was a great discussion about Britney Spears, but this was a big one, guys. Jeffrey Weinstein scandal, the dirty, disgusting guy that everybody says. Charles, you have a little comment on it, but I want to hear from Jason or Claudio as well. What do you guys think about this Jeffrey Weinstein scandal? Obviously, the guy's in prison. I mean, what was done was done. The guy took advantage, and I believe he did rape somebody. He was actually charged with third-degree rape. So this started the Me Too movement. A lot of other people were caught up and they got Me Too'd. So it's a big Hollywood scandal. Let's be honest. Jeffrey Weinstein was one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood. He was the guy you needed to know to get into the big movies. That's something I was talking about when you go on set and you meet producers. He was the guy to know. And you know what? Like what we could ask ourselves is, did the people that went and see him, were they just as guilty? Were they just as in on it? You know what I mean? That's something we want to ask ourselves, guys. So who wants to start the conversation here?
Okay, well, go ahead.
I don't know too much about Jeffrey Weinstein, but from what you were saying about producers and directors and higher up people in the entertainment industry, all I got to say about that is if you've got connections to people who can get you into certain roles or certain positions and stuff like that, and then they go back and they backstab you, that hurts because the credibility of Hollywood as a staple to people are not going to watch your movies. Then people are not going to respect you as actors and directors and producers and all of these other people who take the time to make a movie. The Hollywood itself is getting scandalous because of the fact that they're all leading to a specific movement of something, and people are just not watching their movies. I don't watch many movies because I just don't like what's out there. So I'm very picky and choosy of what I watch.
When the Weinstein Company was, I remember this when I was younger.
Weinstein Company.
It was, there were a lot of films that came out. You had Quentin Tarantino started off with the Weinstein Company. You had Reservoir Dogs. I'm not sure about Pulp Fiction, but almost every film. Besides the latest ones that came out, but I remember that it was big, because the Weinstein Company supported and financed independent movies. They're like, okay, but then reports came out with a few actresses saying that I went to Jeffrey Weinstein's office and he goes, "You want the role?"
It's Harvey Weinstein. We wrote Jeffrey Weinstein, guys. I apologize for that. No, because Jeffrey Weinstein is actually one of our correspondents.
It's Epstein. It's Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I changed it to why is this still showing? Harvey Weinstein. There we go. Jeffrey Weinstein, guys. It's not Jeffrey Weinstein, by the way.
Okay, all right, people. Okay, Harvey. Okay, people. So
Nice to clearing it up,
So then reports came out saying, like there were a few reports of actually saying, listen, I went to Harvey Weinstein's office, and he was saying, like, listen, I had to do something, to get a big role in this film, but for me, I'm, when the Weinstein epidemic came out, I was shocked. I was hurt because Weinstein was a big name in Hollywood. As I mentioned, he financed and produced a lot of independent films that we know today.
I get it, Claudio. I get it. He was a very good producer. There's a lot of good movies that came out. But for what he did is not acceptable. Not
absolutely
years ago, not 10 years ago, and not now. Certainly not now.
I know exactly.
So it's a good thing that he got exposed. That's what needs to happen, guys. The bad people need to be exposed in Hollywood. That's what.
The issue I had with that is that the people that do the exposing always wait 30 years later to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So somebody fed off this guy. They took the films. They did what they had to do. And then 30 years later, out of guilt, or maybe the opportunity came to fruition, they throw him completely under the bus, right?
Yeah.
So why did you wait that long? That's my question.
Yeah,
One,
I agree with you.
did you guys watch Bombshell?
Yes.
No, I didn't
Yes.
see it.
Okay.
The-
So it's a new movie with Nicole Kidman. There's Margot Robbie.
Margot
And who's
Robbie.
the other one? Anyways.
Charlize Theron.
Yes, Charlize Theron. It just came out on Netflix. And it's about Fox and
Yeah.
how they got tricked into sexual favors to move up and become anchors, right? So, sexual harassment is everywhere.
Nicole Kidman, yes.
Okay, it's everywhere. It's at your Christmas party. It's at work. It's more controlled now because more companies have HR and they protect. But you also have to defend yourself as a woman, right? Where it doesn't get to the point where you gotta expose it 30 years later.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry, Claudio. And you took the gig. You did the deed, you took the gig, then you went back, you did the deed, you took the other gig, and you worked 30 years, and all of a sudden, you expose Satan. Well, you should have not taken the gig, and that's
You know what, guys? I'm going to interrupt both of you. Okay, listen. At the end of the day, you know what this really shows, guys? It shows that the people that did that, I'm not going to say which gender they were, it doesn't matter, but the people who did that, okay, they sold their soul to Hollywood. That's what it means. Selling your soul to Hollywood, doing whatever you have to do, even if it includes selling your body. That's what it takes to get into those big movies, and they did it. And they're just as bad, I would say.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to mention. So there's a scene in Bombshell, right, where one of the female characters we named, she wants to be an anchor, and John Lithgow character who plays the guy they're accusing, he's in the office, and the girl was wearing a skirt, and John Lithgow's going. Well, his character, he's guy goes, if you want to be shown on the television, you gotta show me those legs. And then I swear to God, you see John Lithgow's character going. I'm like, I saw that in the movie theater. A friend of mine, and everyone there's not a word saying. As soon as I hear, I'm like, that actually happened.
Nixie said, "Hey, Ange, I'm sure there are more Weinsteins that are out there. It's true in the entertainment industry that we don't know
absolutely. But you know what? And you know what? You brought up an important point. Like Hollywood sells, people sell their souls to Hollywood, aka Satan. At one point, I was talking with a friend, and he brought up an important point. He goes, there's this kind of parties like Eyes Wide Shut or the Dark Order. I bet you, and this is kind of weird. I think we talked about this in a group channel. Someone thinks that Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Aniston, and I forgot another actress. If you pay close attention to these actors, especially Angelina Jolie, Angelina looks like someone who does witchcraft. Just pointing it out. She looks like she could take, she'll look at you and just go, and just possess you. That's why when I saw Maleficent, I'm like, man, she looks really good. I don't know what it is. And my friend's like, she probably does this weird voodoo witchcraft. And even for Jen, and again, I might sound like a crazy wacko, but even Jennifer Aniston, she's like, how old is she? 50s. She Aniston's in her 60s, right? Somewhere in her 60s.
She's my age. She's about 52, 53.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh my God, for a woman who has 50, looks like 52, and then people are like, and then there's this conspiracy theories going around saying that hey, listen, Maleficent was garbage. The second one made up for the first one. The second one made up for the first one, but still, no. And people are like, they think Jennifer Aniston drinks blood, young baby blood.
Oh my God,
crazy.
Yeah, that's the whole Peterwood discussion, but we don't have time to talk about that. But
you sound crazy. Seek help. No, Maleficent 2 was good. What was better than the first? The first one was a waste of time.
Guys, I want to talk about the new Hollywood, the new big thing, which is reality TV. Ever since Jersey Shore and all these stupidities. I'm sorry if you like that kind of stuff, but I still watch it, but I find it stupid. Anyways, it's entertaining, and that's the point of it. The point is that I watch it. I'm literally sitting on my couch. I want to watch something. I want to be entertained for the last hour of my night, and I watch it. Do I really care about these people? Probably not. Will I follow them after the show? Probably not. Are they going to impact my life in some shape or form in the next 10 years? I can guarantee you they won't. So that's what I'm trying to say about reality TV. I want to talk about the truth of reality TV, what it is to be on reality TV.
Well,
listen, they go on there, guys. What do you think? It's not all dandelion roses. They're not paid $1 million. They go there. You take away your phone. You can't talk to anybody. You can't leak anything on the internet. No. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they do this all for what? Clout, guys, right? So what do you guys think about this?
You know what? I agree with what you're saying. You know, because I actually know someone who was who auditioned for doing reality TV, and then he was telling me, all right, Lady Lydia, all right, I'm still saying first Melissa sucks. So he was saying, you know, he was telling me he knows someone who did reality TV, and he's saying it was brutal. You know, they take your phones away. People think, oh, you're on reality TV. It must be and you know, entertaining. They're treating you like stars. No, they're not. They're not. First of all, you know, you don't know who else is going to be on there. You're by yourself almost 6-7 hours a day, you know, and then you're just, you know, and then the only time you see people is when, you know, you're in a room together discussing a certain situation. So he goes, it's not pleasant at all, you know, and they don't tell you what's going to happen, you know, next episode, not because they want to keep it like the real feel, you know.
Something, guys, I really need to say this, okay? Yeah. A lot of you guys are under the impression that these people on reality TV are just random and they're nobodies and they just got a chance of a lifetime. That's not true at all, okay? No. A lot of these people that are picked out, most of them for looks, by the way, the people that are picked out already have some kind of social media following, guys. And then this show just boosts them. You understand?
Yeah.
I've seen this happen so many times.
In some way, but I think for what it's worth, they do go through auditions to actually be on the show. Yeah. And then when they get there, it's like they totally flop the whole thing. And I'm thinking to myself, these are smart individuals, college education, college degree, have something going, and totally are flip-flopping the whole entire show to become something that's more like a soap opera that I could easily watch on some daytime show. And I'd rather watch Y&R for that matter if that was the case.
Well, it's all staged. There are rehearsals, there are filtering of who they're gonna cast, and people forget. I mean, people on the couch that are watching this, they forget that there's a crew of 6 or 8 people who's holding the mic, who's holding the sun reflector.
May I say something as far as Hell's Kitchen is a big show. I don't know if you guys ever used to watch the show.
I really like Hell's Kitchen. It's really funny.
I spoke to several of the contestants myself, who I'm friends with on Facebook.
Really?
Krupa Patel, if you remember her, she was from Queens, New York. She says there are people who will literally stoop down to get themselves voted off. I'm like, wait a minute. You're trying to become the head chef of one of Gordon Ramsay's big restaurants, and you literally want to get voted off and be the scapegoat or the person to sabotage them. They literally pay them more than the winners do to actually screw up. Yeah, there
really.
Yes, there are actually.
Listen, I want to say something, guys. This is true. What he's saying.
Reality TV has.
Because I know somebody. I'm not gonna say their names. Okay, I know somebody that their daughter was on a singing show, a big singing show, and they told me that when the family of their daughter called in to vote, they cut the line. They didn't accept any more votes.
Yeah, because I would.
So just think about that for a second. They get enough votes for somebody, and then the other person, they don't take any more votes anymore.
But when I found out about the Hell's Kitchen and the whole thing in scandal, I was like, son of a gun, I knew something was going down, because I watched the show and I love it. And I could tell who would really win that particular season.
Yeah, because they know, like, this person, they already have in mind who's going to win because they have the biggest following, they have the biggest potential.
But they also, I mean, you could tell, maybe I knew the one guy, Paul, he was great from like day 2. The second week of the show, boom, He just like dominated the whole thing. And even though there was people out there to get him and nab him and screw him over, it just like it did not faze this guy at all.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Guys, I think we should go to the last topic of the night, which is actually huge news, guys.
Oh yeah.
I think this is like would fall in the realm of like social media gossip and
you just spread the gravy juices
tech
over
news
the
and everything. Elon Musk. We all know Elon Musk. He's pretty much, I could say, a star at this point, like a Hollywood star. This guy, everybody knows him. He's one of the richest people on the planet. Is he the richest?
The richest.
He is the richest person on the
Yeah, he
planet.
just outshot Oprah from a long time ago. Oprah was one of the dominant celebrities who was making all the money off of her magazines. Now you got this guy who's named after a cologne.
You know what, though, guys? Seriously, listen. Everybody likes Elon Musk. He's really cool. A lot of the young people like him. He's very innovative. I understand, but at the end of the day, it's scary what that somebody with all the money in the world could basically change everything. Like he could do whatever he wants. He could say whatever he wants. You know what I mean? And the fact that he could buy a social media platform and do whatever the hell he wants with it, in my opinion, is scary. However, though, because I know you guys have all your opinions on this, I think it's good. I think it's good that we should have more freedom of speech on social media. I don't believe in this being censored thing. If you don't like it, don't look at it, don't watch it, block it. You know what I mean? But I know you guys are going to have a lot of... See, Jason's agreeing with me. But a lot of other people won't agree with me. So
let me say this.
Charles, I know you have a lot to say about this.
Let me put it this way. If I want to flash a meatball on a screen, I could do that, you know?
Yeah, but that's fun. That's fun.
You know,
that's fun. A meatball with a bit of sauce, that's fun.
Exactly.
But here's what happened this afternoon, right? This afternoon, Gene Simmons, right? Right? Okay, don't start you. And
What happened with Gene Simmons?
Okay, so Gene Simmons said it's great to practice freedom of speech, and I'm happy that Elon Musk bought whatever. Yeah. But as long as we're not promoting hate speech, right?
No.
Now wait, hold on. Now that was the article in American Songwriter on Instagram, right? So I go read the article, and then I go into the actual post. And here's everybody starts smashing him, right? Shut the fuck up and da-da-da-da. And who are you? Did you listen to the lyrics of your songs? You know? So, but hold on. So this is it, right? Yeah. So what's freedom of speech is that Gene Simmons thinks that all this, and then the people, whoever they are, which is Joe Random, one of 8 billion people in the world, decides to slam Gene Simmons. So why is Gene Simmons' freedom of speech being heckled or trashed by some random person, whether it's
because it sets up for a healthy debate, even though the guy's trashing him, doesn't like him personally.
But what's the point then? You know what? You wanted your freedom of speech, Jason. Tomorrow you want to say X, right? Yeah. Keep the love button, keep the retweet button, and turn off the comment section. Because my freedom of speech is, hey, right? And I don't want to have 800 comments of, hey, why'd you tell me to go, right?
And that's what you're right about that, because if you just shut the comment section off, you cut off everybody, and it pisses the trolls off.
The trolls are going to say you limited the comments.
It's going to be on every platform known to man.
And that's freedom of speech.
Those skunk ass bums, and I'm sick and tired of
that's freedom of speech, where you didn't start a conversation. Right. You said what you had to say, and it ends there. And if you don't like it, too bad. If you like it, retweet it, love it, right? Yeah. And then there's one more point, and then you know, because we're running late, right?
Yeah.
There's Elon Musk somewhere in the news is saying that, you know, he's gonna bring back some people that were taken off, which is fine. And if you misbehave, you get a timeout. So now you're becoming Facebook, right? Where you're gonna go to Twitter jail. Like if it's freedom, but if it's freedom of speech, it's freedom. There shouldn't be unless you know you're a psycho and you say, you know, I'm gonna kill 12 people tomorrow. Then yes, but
and again, it's all about what you tweet or what you post is what's going to start a good debate or get your ass handed to you on a silver platter.
Okay. The other thing is, that the richest man in the world, right? And we discussed this afternoon with Ange, right? Who is every kid's dream, right? Every kid's dream wants to be Dr. Evil, right? Right? So that's what Elon Musk is becoming. He purchased the biggest platform of communication, right?
Yeah.
So and he's in total control of this. Now we don't know, because we know him as a public figure, as a guy who's doing good stuff. He's the founder of Tesla. He's the founder of his SpaceX. He's the guy that's going to save the world. And right. But what if he becomes a crazy world, power hungry person? He's the only guy that could go against himself with this powerful platform that the whole world feeds on all day long. Where before there was a committee, right? There was, hey, we don't know what they discussed behind closed doors. So one person bought the biggest platform where people could discuss their opinions, their whatever, and this guy is controlling all of it, and he bought it for himself, and it reminded me of Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
1 billion, and it's
mine,
right?
what though, Charles, you brought up some interesting points, and I get that there needs to be some kind of moderation, just like when there's all kinds of trolls here and my freaking channel blows up, okay? But it's true, you need some kind of moderation. But at the end of the day, we live in Canada, okay? I live in Canada, at least you live in Canada, Claudio. It's free here, right? It's a free country.
Yeah.
So why should you be censored? You understand? It's a free country. If we lived in China,
it's not censored. It's not censored. It's not censorship. Okay. It's what your average person, right? Yeah. You're not a politician. You're not head of a state. You're not a world leader. You're me, you, us, right? Why do you need to have this right where you could say whatever you want at any time of the day? It's not necessary, right? Well, hold on. And then why are you like, if you're a bit psychologically imbalanced, right? It's like it's like you don't give a kid a gun that's probably gonna go shoot up his school, right? Yeah. And words are hurtful, right? So why at any time of the day does Ange get to say whatever the hell he pleases? You shouldn't have that right. You should have the right to say whatever you want, but depending where, right? Like somebody said today, I forget who, you don't go, Gene Simmons, right? You don't go into a movie theater and all of a sudden yell fire.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, okay? These social media platforms, they have, what do you call it? Terms of agreement, right? You have to accept the terms of agreement, right? The conditions.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if it says you're not allowed to swear, you're not allowed to put nudity, they're allowed to remove your post.
Okay,
right?
but that's what they did with Trump. And there was a big backlash with that.
Because okay, I'm going to stop you there because of the fact that Trump was actually tweeting his agenda on Twitter. People didn't like that, but he had every right to do that. But because of his conservatism, his Republican status, and the fact that at that time Twitter was a heavy liberal, democratic social media platform like Facebook, he got censored. Okay?
Don't forget something, okay?
But that was an example. But I know what you're saying. I was referring to Ange that there's clauses, there's agreements that you click. I agree.
Sure.
And you become a member. Now, what are if you're opening this platform? It didn't necessarily have to do with Trump. If you're opening up the spectrum of this platform to that level, what agreements can I sign that you opened up the information highway to the point where I could say whatever I want. I could say Jason is a and then
I'm going to say back it up with facts. That's what I'm going to tell you.
I know, but do I have another 8 hours not to read the 800 comments? No, but that's why there should be no comment. I said that. Jason's gonna call me and say, "Dude, you're a freaking asshole." Right? You shouldn't have said that. But we don't have like some guy in Timbuktu saying, Well, maybe you should talk to Jason because he has feelings too, and maybe you went a bit too far and aggressive, and because everybody's gonna have their opinion, right?
You know what though, guys? If you can't take it, just get off the internet. If you just can't, if it gets to you, I get troll messages all the time, especially when I was starting.
But that's why it's gonna become like Facebook. It's gonna become like
Facebook. See, and now Facebook needs to get their act together because Zuckerberg is a pain in the airhead. He's just a liberal Democrat who just doesn't care. He's gonna censor anything and anything that has to do with conservatism, the Republican Party, or something of that sort. You can't post a whole bunch of, and I even got blocked for inviting too many friends to my Facebook group page. I was blocked for 7 days, and I'm a Facebook.
I don't think Elon Musk is 100% aware what he's getting into if he's going to open up the floodgates to let anybody say whatever they want, because he's going to have to clean that up after.
Lady Via is absolutely correct.
People are cruel. Yeah.
No, she said Facebook has so many. Every single fight I had was on Facebook.
Exactly.
Especially when I'm putting videos in different groups. Like when I was doing my show, The Unknown, I would put it in random time travel groups, and they would say, that's not true. You don't have a police report. You don't have stupid is. And I'm like, you know what? Just go fuck yourself.
Imagine now all the Karens from Facebook and all the Joe Blows that know everything on Facebook come to Twitter and become active members.
Yeah. Or
that's scary.
If you don't like who you're following, don't follow them anymore and hit that block button.
Exactly.
You have the power to push the button.
I also should have the power not to have you sabotage my post.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was talking with a friend yesterday. Actually, I had him on this past Sunday on my podcast, The 34, and he was saying, you know what it is? Social media is like television, right? If you don't like what you're seeing, or if you're listening to audio, if you don't like what you're hearing, move on. There's another channel. Change your channel.
You know what? A lot of these people, and I don't want to be like an age. I don't want to do ageism or anything, but I find a lot of the people on Facebook are old-minded people, 45 and older, that they just look for something to come up.
You two at the bottom, huh? Watch out. You two at the bottom.
That's what it is. Because the people on Facebook, they don't want to move to other social media platforms. But you made the move from living your real life, playing street hockey outside, to going on the internet, going on Facebook. Why can't you go to Instagram? That's what I don't get.
Well, and here's the thing. If it wasn't for Facebook, I would not have the power to be able to post my podcast to everybody and reach out to that. I use Facebook for that reason, to get everybody to get back to where I was posting my original podcast. So I'm using Facebook in a good way, in an inspiring way, but the thing is I see all these garbage posts and I'm like, really? So I just start Xing out stuff that I think is not interesting, and I don't follow, and that's I have
for me, during the pandemic I had a wake up call, because before, like, if years and years ago I was just posting anything random, and now the fact that I'm doing comedy and I'm doing podcasts, even on Instagram and Twitter, I'm posting stuff about my wrestling podcast, my Dirty Four, my acting and comedy. That's it. My personal life, well, I'll post stuff once in a while, but I'm never going to post stuff about my personal life. I'm only going to post about my stand-up stuff, comedy related. Because why? Because except for the people who are close to me, it should be no one's business to know, my guys, I took 5 craps today, that should be no one's business. Instead, the only thing I want to post about is, hey, AEW Dynamite review tonight at 10 p.m. Come and see what myself and 3 people, or I'm Dirty Four, or hey, this is my stand. That's what I want to do, and that's for me what social media is. You use your platform, not the hey, Jimmy fell down the stairs and he broke his ass crack 10 times today. Although that is funny, but
You know what I don't get, guys? This is something big about Facebook, okay? Yeah. And let me tell you, what Jason was saying is that it's you could use Facebook to help you out a lot, especially if you have content, whatever. Now, what I don't get is you join these groups, and groups, what do you think they're made for? They're made for taking your content and showing it to a wider audience, and you're supposed to help each other out, right? You all have the same passions. So why is it that you join a group You post something, and then they just the moderator doesn't accept it, it deletes it. You're promoting whatever. Well, what do you think the group is for? You know what I mean? Like,
let me say this.
Stupid.
I am on a lot of Facebook group pages that had to do with Queens, New York, and there were some that did not like the fact that I had a Queens, New Yorker show, nor a legacy show for that matter. And I'm thinking, but wait a minute, it's part of Queens, okay? It's part of the borough. There is a neighboring cities that should know about this, and you're telling me I cannot post my episode of Ron Jeremy?
But something tells me that that person that deleted your thing is jealous of you or doesn't want your stuff to get out there.
I guess so. Thing. So you know what I did? I got out of the group. I said, if you're going to continue to delete my posts and decline my stuff, I'm getting the heck out of here. And when I had my opportunity, that's why now I'm part of that Queens Historic Images and Classic, because they didn't have an admin. I took the opportunity. I stood up and I went in there and nabbed that position. And now anybody who wants to come in must be a Queens, New Yorker and must be legit. And you can post anything they want on about Queens, about New York. Stick to the topic and we can have a great group.
Absolutely. Guys, we had some really heated conversations tonight. I want to thank you all.
Charles,
you guys are awesome.
Hold on, Charles, you say something.
Go ahead, Charles.
No, I said thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Jason, stay in touch, man. Nice meeting you.
Hey, I appreciate the fact that you have now made me a senior consultant, correspondent, and everything.
Yeah, you're a senior correspondent. Charles, you are now baptized as senior correspondent of the channel. Congratulations.
Or just senior.
Happy Easter to everybody, you know?
And guys, we're going to be having an open panel discussion at least once a month, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy these. I really do enjoy them. We try to have different people as well, depending on what the topic is. So there's plenty of people to come. Also, I want to just give I would say like a get well soon to Esther. She was supposed to be on the show.
Hey,
Esther's breeze.
Yeah,
she did catch COVID. Everybody's catching COVID right now. It's bad, but Nick said good stuff. Yeah, exactly. Tony Morello said good discussion, guys. Well done. Happy to be here again. Well, I'm happy to see you, Raven, and thank you for your input. You have a lot of knowledge on Disney. And by the way, I always said I wanted to have a kids show. You never know; it might happen.
I had kids on my podcast one time, and my troll just went ahead and attacked me and called me a pedophile. I was like,
but that's the thing, right?
What's a kid show? What's a kid show?
It wasn't
like a YouTube kids show, you know, like something on YouTube Kids.
Yeah, well, no, I had a YouTube channel. And I had a live discussion where I had two kids that were under the age of 13 who were trying to grow their channel legitimately. And the guy kept saying, well, now you got these young kids attacking me. I'm like, hey, they know that you're a piece of crap, okay? So, but after we stopped like talking to the kids, what did the guy do? He still went after the kids.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll be honest with you. I kind of want something animated. Like I want to do an animated show. And I saw something that's pretty cool. It's an NFT show. It's a show with NFT characters, like the Bored Ape and this guy. It's really cool. But I would like something animated. The only thing is I don't know how to animate. Maybe that's something I could really look into.
I know I've seen stuff where you could do cartoon figures of yourself, where you would go on a website and put your picture up there, and then it would flash back a cartoon image of what.
But I need the cartoon actually moving and like an animation, you know.
Yeah. Maybe there's a filter, a permanent filter.
A filter,
that animates you, right? Like those apps they promote on Instagram.
Yeah,
become a cartoon.
Become an avatar, man. I get that.
I tried with the puppets, but it's a bit. I can't be all the puppets at the same time. I have two hands. You know what I mean?
You need about 4 hands and 10,000 fingers, and
exactly.
Finger puppets. So those are stupid. Anyways, guys. That was our conversation for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me check the schedule because I can't remember who was our next guest. Our next guest, guys, is a guy who created NFTs. You see, I'm talking a lot about NFTs. It's called Le Syndicat NFT Collection. We're going to talk all about NFTs. So if you don't know what an NFT is, please come next Tuesday because we're going to talk all about it. I have one of his NFTs. He actually gifted me an NFT. I don't know what it looks like, though. I don't know which art it's going to be. So I'll let you know when I get the art there. And then the week after, we have Charles Dagley, he's a comedian, and so on and so forth, guys. So thank you very much for coming. Take care. Lady Via, Jay Wildrock, and everybody else, Nick C. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time on the Ange TV show, guys. Take care. Ciao. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.